Hello, hello, hello. Clary Berry here, of course. It is Thursday, and I am hanging out as usual. Just so fortunate to be able to take care of small things around the house, light housekeeping and whatnot. Um, and doing videos too, and just having everything. Food. I mean, having my own bathroom. It's great to be here all day, and I really, really enjoy my job. That's not really the topic of the video, though. I just kind of doing an update. I am still on week 24 here. Doing really, really well. I actually had a big kind of a cheat meal last night. I only say cheat meal because it was a little high in fat and a little high in salt. But other than that, it was perfect, and that's kind of what you can expect when you go out to eat as a vegan. So it was my son's birthday. Happy birthday to C. He's 11 years old, and he's my baby. I had him at a birthing center with no drugs, of course, and they are both of my kids are also not vaccinated. And this is something that has been coming up lately. There's been in Kansas City, there's been like 16 cases of measles popped up, and so because they see that all of the I just had a bunch of people on my pages on Facebook that were posting about it and posting this email chain letter thing with all these sources, um, saying that vaccination is good. And of course, when you go look at the sources, they're like the Vaccine Education, Council and other very biased, nothing independent, nothing good. So it's just led to, I can't really bite my tongue very well when I am impassioned. So, I just happened to see some relevant things and I wanted to share them. So, I probably made a few posts, and the last one I made was actually very controversial. Talked about abortions and vaccines, and so I just wanted to kind of spread the word, to people that aren't, because they don't sit you down and give you the warnings whenever you go get vaccinated or get your kids vaccinated. They basically just, say you have to do this. And if you can't, your kids can't go to school, and well, mine are in public school and they're doing just fine. So they also have perfect attendance every single year. I did keep one of my kids home one day this year for just personal reasons, nothing to do with sickness. So, um, anyway, just got into, the biggest argument with these people mainly about, one of the strongest points in, well, a lot of strong points in anti-vax um, truths, but the one thing that I was talking about probably the most is, just the fact that all of the diseases that we're talking about here have been on the decline. General health has been on the incline for, the whole entire world when you look at it overall, so, the vaccinators look at something that they're given, which is given to them by the CDC. So it's like a chart, and it says, look at these vaccines from 1950, look at what they've done. And the fact is that if you rewind the clock, if you go back just a little bit further, then you'll see that vaccines were almost already completely eradicated. There's context, and people don't realize that at all. They don't even know they're being duped. And also, this is, the one thing that I'm trying to tell people. And as I'm talking to people, there's a handful of people who, were actually actively engaging and talking to me in a very, we were polite, we were fine, everything, was great. One person just stopped talking so far, and then like these other people just kind of came in and started, like, after everybody was already talking, they just kind of came in and started talking and talking and talking. And it was the same example that I had already pointed out to everybody, and that was that the people who do vaccinate, they can't really say a lot of times that they've really done a lot of research. They just take it from the doctors, they just take it from society, media, TV, whatever, everything that they need to do it. And, you can deny that, but people want to come in and say their 2 cents, but they don't want to listen at all. That's a very common thing with people who are pro-vaccination. They don't want to listen to your actual point. They just want to tell you what they already know. But it's interesting because I can talk about what they already know, but they can't talk about what I know. And when I do talk to people like this, and this is kind of a vent post, sorry, but when I do talk to people like this, they actually all the time, and people do this about veganism too, but they will resort back to like making fun of your typing, or you made a mistake, or like picking at you in other personal ways. That's when you know that a debate has just gone really downhill, because that's ridiculous for people to take it to that level, and these people are totally, and that absolves them, of course, of answering the question that you just asked. Or, if all else fails, just go ahead and delete, the comment that proves you wrong, and act like nothing ever happened. It's so silly. And then, those same people are the ones who are posting this pro-vaccination stuff in the first place. They're like, well, I don't like all this drama. Well, if you don't want to talk about it, honey, then don't post the BS in the first place, because I'm going to sit down and I'm going to call you out about every single little thing if you're posting it and I see it on my wall. So, and I'm not going to do that all the time, but like I said, the circumstances were right. There was a lot of people posting about it. I felt like I had to speak up, and I will debate anyone, anywhere, any day about it. I don't have all the facts. I have to, do active research. When I first decided not to, vaccinate my kids, and when I went through that decision and made that choice, this was 11 years ago, 12 years ago. So it's, a lot's changed in the amount of information that's out there and access of information. So it's interesting to kind of even get back into that subject again. But I just want everybody out there on the YouTube world to know that I am absolutely anti-vaccination. Of course, this kind of lines up with all of my other philosophies. Basically, anti-big pharma is a huge platform that I have in my life. Why would you pay money to get jabbed in the arm and poisoned by corporations who only profit? They only profit when you get sick. People just want to brush off this information and say, oh, it's internet information. And then when you actually show them a good source that's just on the internet, then they're saying, oh, well, it's just made up. So people who are pro-vaccination need to realize that, especially, like I said, if you're going to post this stuff and people, make a claim, it's up to you then. The burden of proof is on you. It's up to you to prove that they're safe, to prove that what I'm saying about 1900s, to 1950s, that period in time that is missing, that they just left out. Just like, it's just the same thing as Al Gore. Do you guys remember, what was his movie? The environmental one. Whatever it was, I can't think right now. That's the same thing that he did with global warming. He just took out, this whole other period of time beforehand where you can see that, the numbers go up and down, the temperatures, had gone much higher. So, and it's the same thing. It proves a lot, and it's a way for them, it's a tactic that they use to convince people of what they want so that they can, make more money. And you have to remember, these corporations don't have any legal obligation at all to anybody else but their corporation, but their stockbrokers and all of that. So people need to just realize that, and realize that the medical system is a corporation. It's a huge corporation. It's just as bad as big oil. It's probably worse. Who knows if you can even put a, which one's worse. But yeah, I just had to get on here and vent a little bit. I know, yada yada yada. Hopefully it's not too hard to follow with my ramblings here. But I'm doing pretty well. I feel really great. I had a huge meal, like I said the other day, and I woke up, and although my belly's not like the smallest that it's ever been, I noticed there was like some different shapeage to it, to the pooch in the front. Like the pooch was smaller, even though like felt like my whole stomach was engaged a little bit more. I still like had a little bit of fat. So I thought that was really interesting, that you can actually, you know, see it in action. You can actually be losing fat on your body and see the scale go up. Because right now, today, I'm back up to 125 again. And I have been, about 120, 121, maybe 122. And I just popped up because of all the salt and the fat that I had. And now I'm drinking all this extra water to kind of flush that through. So, I gained water weight. This is my body holding on to water, not letting it go. I can feel that. And you can kind of, if you start to pay attention, when you're drinking your water, if you feel like you're not peeing as much as usual when you start to drink water, then that means your body's like holding on to it. So that could be, a sign before you get to the point where you actually have to see the bloating and stuff. But so I'm doing pretty good. I feel pretty good. And I have a feeling, that with today, I've eaten kind of light today, and I've been doing a lot of apples and cucumbers. Those of you on Instagram, check me out, Clary Berry, there as well. So yeah, give me a like and subscribe if you want to keep track. Next week is my 6-month anniversary, so I'm gonna be doing some good videos for that, hopefully. And let's see, today we already did our ethnic Thursday with the spring rolls. So I think I'm going to go ahead and make like maybe some mashed potatoes or just like some sort of potatoes tonight with some grilled veggies. I have some zucchini that I need to use. And so again, if you want to see my food, check it all out on Instagram. And yeah, take care, eat your fruit. Talk to you later.